What's going on, family? It's your boy Roms, and today I've got a live trading video for you. So this is on the Monday, I believe the 5th of February, and it was a GU trade. I was going for an 8R target, right? And I wasn't at work this day, so I was at home. I was able to screen record the trade as I took it on TradingView. I thought it would be a good one for you guys to share, for me to share with you guys, because not only is it a solid trade, it's a good reaction that I got, and you know, it was a pretty smooth trade. You actually get to see within this breakdown, or within this live trading video, that, you know, my psychology at certain points wasn't great, and you can see where I went wrong and how I could have, you know, how I should have maximized this trade in regards to my profits, and how I didn't maximize. So I thought it would be good to share with you guys so that you can see the realities of even when you're someone, you know, even when you've got a trading model, and you know you know your stuff, and you know what your model looks like, and you know what your targets are. You can see how when you're trading, especially on the lower time frames, how your psychology can still let you down. So we've got here, we've got GU, and you know, at the time GU was extremely bearish. So GU, extremely bearish on the higher time frames. So I will just continuing with that, you know, that bearish narrative. And obviously this video is sped up, and you can see here this trade was triggered. This was during London session. I was triggered around 9:15ish AM, and as soon as the trade got triggered, it was an amazing reaction. So at this part here, when you see, you know, it taps in and it hangs around for maybe a minute or two before, but even in you know, when it mitigates my entry and taps into my entry and fills me in, it still gives me a perfect reaction, in the sense that the candles that you can see was showing signs of rejection. So in that sense, you know, that I didn't have to deal with much, you know, psychology problems there, or, you know, being worried about the trade stopping me out, because it was an amazing reaction. It was a perfect timing in regards to the session that it was in, middle of London session. It was a perfect high probability trade on based on my trading model, and based on the M1 and the M5 moving with the high time frame liquidity. And so yeah, the trade was triggered. That's when I started recorded. You can see here that it taps in, it rejects beautifully, absolutely perfectly. And you see here, so typically what I like to do is, for my trades, I like to go for 5R. I like 5R to be my minimum. If a trade is less than 5R, I typically won't go for it. If it's a 4R, I may still go for it, but if it's a 3R or less, I probably won't hit the trigger. I'll probably I'll give it a miss, mainly because I understand that if you've got even a 50% win rate on a 5R, you know, you could do really well. Obviously, even if you got 50% win rate on a 3R, you can do really well, right? But that's just my preference. So at this point here, you can see here, right, straight, price filled me in, my limit was tagged in, and it rejected straight away. Took out that trend line liquidity you can see just at the bottom of the London session box, or the key, say the key 1 hour session of London box, and then it hits a certain level that I could see that price could reject from. But that same level where that black line is, and it says 5R easy target, you can see there that was 5R, but also that was a level that I knew that price could give me a nice little rejection, and it did straight away. So I was grateful to take off 5R there. At this point, I hadn't taken partials yet, because I did know, I knew within myself, and I knew following my model, that price should go to at least the Asia low target, and it should go all the way, right? But again, trading isn't just as simple as just following the technicals, because it's an emotional game. It's a money game. Whenever money is involved with us as human beings, we get emotional. Okay, so at this point here, I had now taken off 50% volume off the trade, and at this point I was like, okay, taking 50% off, I was going to take the remaining 50% at the AR, so to take off all my position at the 8R low. You know, 8R is a solid trade in one trading session. You know, just in London alone, that's an amazing risk to reward, right? But this is where it starts to get interesting for me on the 1 minute, because the one that you can see, it rejects slightly once it hits my 5R target, it wicks up and comes back down again, and then it continues to go lower. So from this point here, I genuinely believed it was going to just fly to the 8R target, but it didn't. And you're going to see what happens in a second. And I was very transparent throughout this session. I was very transparent, talking through what I was seeing, so that you guys could see, you know, my flaws in my psychology that I'm still working on. I'm still early in this trading game, if I'm honest. I'm only a few years into it. in comparison to others that have been in it for years. So, you know, even those of us that have been in it for just a few years, I still see us all as you know, we're still rookies when it comes to, you know, the real trading OGs, right? So you can see here, so I took 5R, at 5R, I took 50% off, 50% off. And at this point I was like, okay, so price should hit 8R, should just fly. However, this is where I got interesting. Price started rejecting here, right? You can see it. I was like, okay, I didn't like the way that price was rejecting here. And I think I even typed it out as well, which we'll look for in just a second. But what often happens to a lot of us is when we're trading on the lower time frames, especially the M1, if you focus on the M1, that, you know, that time frame will fade you out of trades. It will fade you out of trades for fun, because all that in regards to this time frame, sorry, in regards to this trade, it was pretty smooth in regards to the M1. Price filled me my entry, rejected, and flew away, right? But look at this here now. This is me now. I'm saying I don't like this response. And if I'd focused on the M5, okay, I would have known that, like, you know, don't be worried, bro. You're taking 50% off. You got solid profits. Just chill. You know, it should hit your target. And if it doesn't, you know, you still got 50% of a 5R. Like, this just still has 2.5R returns. It's fine. So I even wrote on here just now. You know, I even wrote on it just at the time. You know, I don't like the fact that it's responding this way. However, I do know that on the M1, it does this to fake you out of trades or to fade you out of trades. So again, I've written, now I have a decision to make. Do I close the final 25% or do I hold? But I was more than happy with my 5R. Like I said to you, 5R trade, I'm good with that. Like 5R, I've taken on plenty of trades that have a take profit of the final take profit of 5R. But this is where I let my psychology, or my lack of psychology, get the better of me. And you can see here, it says here, now I have a decision to make. Do I close the final 25% or hold? So what I had done is I'd taken 50% when price first hit the 5R target. But then when price started rejecting and going back up, I then took another 25% off. So I only had 25% remaining at this point. As price was moving towards my 8R target, I only had 25% remaining, which isn't the best, because I should have had at least 50% left. And if I'm honest, I could have even held the whole trade to 8R. I could have. However, as I've put here, like as I've written there in bold, pay the trader. There's nothing worse than being up a solid amount of RR and, you know, price coming back to break even. I don't like that, right? So at 5R, I typically always take some kind of partials, usually, if it makes sense technically in regards to the price action. But I was going for 8R here. So let's see how this plays out. You know, so now, you know, this is when I was like pretty confident that my 8R target should be hit. And guys, while we're watching, those of you that haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit subscribe, please. Plenty of you watching my videos. Hopefully you're enjoying them, but I know a bunch of you still aren't subscribed. So make sure you hit subscribe. Don't forget, and make sure you like the video and give me some comments and stuff as well. Let me know what you want to see. So there we go. Look, TP was smashed, 8R hit, and price actually kept flying. Eventually it went to a 30R trade. It was crazy, but I had my take profit, and I hit my take profit, and I was happy. So if you want to watch another video of mine, hit that link in the corner, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.